Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we learned how to add items to a Python list, but what if you want to remove something? Whether you need to delete a specific item, clear the entire list, or remove items based on a condition. Python gives us many options. First, we can use the remove method. So before we start, let's define a list called fruits. And there we have apple, then banana, cherry, and again banana. And let's say we want to remove cherry from the list. So what we can do is we can write fruits dot and we call the remove method, and here we pass cherry. Then let's say if I write the print statement and pass fruits, and if I run the code, you will see there is no cherry in the list. It prints apple, then banana, and then again banana. And now for example, let's say if here I write fruits.remove, then if I pass banana, and then let's see what it does, because we have banana twice in the list. So if I run the code, you can see it prints apple, then cherry, and then banana. So it removed this banana. So here what is happening is it is removing the first occurrence of banana. So when we pass something in the remove method, it will try to find and remove that. So when it goes to this element, it sees that this is not a banana, so it leaves that. But when the remove method comes here and see this matches, then it just removes that and discontinue the process. So the thing is, it removes the first matching element. So even if I have banana 1000 times later in the list, it will just remove first matching value. So the key point here is .remove method only deletes the first matching item. If an item appears multiple times, the others remain. Warning: what if you want to remove something that is not available in the list? For example, let's say you want to remove mango, but mango is not available in the fruits list. So what will happen is it will throw an error. So if I run the code, you can see it throws a value error, which is list.remove x. X is not in the list. That means mango, which we are trying to remove, that is not present in the list. Now, what if you want to remove an item based on its position, I mean the index? In that case, we can use the pop method. So the pop method, for example, we have another list called numbers, which holds these values, then 40. Okay, so now if I write here numbers, then if I call the pop method, and let's say I want to remove this 30 from this list. So this 30 has the index 2. So what I can do is I can write here 2. Now if I write the print statement and pass numbers and run the code, okay, it is throwing the previous error, which is mango is not available. So what I can do is I can write here cherry. So now if I run the code, you can see it removed 30 from the list. As you can see, in the numbers list, previously we had 10, 20, 30, and 40. But now when I say numbers pop and I pass the index 2, it removes the second index value, which is 30, and prints the other elements. Now, what if you want to access the removed element? So what you can do is you can write another variable called removed underscore item, removed item. You can name this anything, that doesn't matter. And now if you write the print statement and give removed item and run the code, you will see it prints 30. That means it removed 30 from the numbers list. So the key point here is .pop method returns the removed item, so you can store it in a variable. Now what if you want to remove the value at index 10, but we don't have a value at index 10? Because the maximum index here is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if you call numbers.pop and you want to remove the 5th index or the 10th index value, which is definitely not available in the list, and try to run the code, you will see an error. So it is an index error saying pop index out of range. So let me remove this line to clear the error. Run the code. See, we don't have any error. Let's say we have another list called letters, and there we have A, B, C, and D. Now let's say you want to remove the last item from the list and you don't know the index of the last item. So what you can do is you can just write letters and just call the pop method and don't pass any index here. Now if you write the print statement and pass letters list, it will print the list without D. So you can see it prints the list with the values A, B, and C. You can store the last or removed element by using another variable. So let's say the variable name is ri2, means removed item 2, and if you print ri2 and run the code, you can see prints D, means it removed the last element, which is D. Now we can remove elements by index using the del keyword. So now we have the del keyword, means the delete keyword, you can say. So for example, let's say we have another list and that holds red, blue, green, and yellow. And let's say now I want to remove this blue element. So what I can do is I can write the del keyword and just write colors list, and in the square brackets I can pass 1 because this blue has the index 1. And then if I write the print statement and pass colors and run the code, you'll see it does not print blue, it prints red, green, and yellow. The key point here is del does not return removed item, unlike pop. So you can just write here a variable called removed item 2 and get blue here, because del keyword does not return the removed item like the pop. As you can see, it throws error. And another warning here is using del on invalid index will cause an error. So for example, let's say I want to remove the value at 10th index, but there is no value of 10th index because this has index 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we are trying to remove the 10th index value, which is not available. So now if I run the code, you will see that throws an error which says index error, list assignment, index out of range. So let me make it 1 so the error goes away. Now what if you want to remove multiple items or a range of items from a list? How will you do that? So for that, what you can do is you can use slicing. So for example, let's say I have another list called numbers 2 and that holds some values, for example 1 to 8, and let's say I want to remove the items from index 2 to 4. For that, what we can do is we can write the del keyword and write the numbers to list, and in between square brackets we can use the slicing. So we want it should remove from the 2nd index to the 4th index. So first we have to write 2, then colon, then here we have to write the index plus 1, means the position, which is 5. So now it will remove the elements at index 2, 3, and 4. So if I write the print statement, pass numbers 2 and run the code, you'll see it removes 3, 4, and 5 and prints 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. So the key point here is using del keyword and the slicing removes all items in the given range. And as we saw earlier, we can clear the entire list as well. For example, if I write here numbers 2, then call the clear method and then try to print numbers to list, what it will do is it will remove every element and print an empty list. But the key point here is .clear method doesn't delete the list itself but just its contents. So You can see the list remains, but it removes the elements only. But if you want to delete the list itself, what you can do is you can use the del keyword. So here, if I remove this line and write the del keyword, then let's say I want to delete the numbers to list entirely. So I have to write the numbers to list here. But keep in mind that when you delete a list, you can't use that list anymore. So as you can see, it is showing warning with yellow squiggly lines. So if you run the code, it will throw an error that name error, name numbers 2 is not defined. Did you mean numbers? Because we have deleted the entire list itself. In this line, that list isn't available at all in the memory. That's why when you will try to do something with that list, it will throw error. So I hope you understood the key aspects of how to work with lists and how to remove items from list in multiple ways.